Song of Myself, Walt Whitman. A child said, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer, designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may see and remark and say whose. Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white, Canuck, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cuff. I give them the same, I receive them the same. And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of graves. Tenderly will I use you, curling grass. It may be you transpire from the breasts of young men. It may be if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people or from offspring taken soon out of their mother's laps. And here you are the mother's laps. You are listening to Two Friends, Two Poems, the podcast where friends read poetry to each other just to see what happens. My name is Tom, and this was my idea. In today's episode, we will be hearing poetry by Walt Whitman, Mary Oliver, and your hosts, Tom and Paul. All right, here we go.
All right, I gotta come. I would like either of these places to sponsor us, because the way every great writer catches ideas is still with paper.
Wow.
And the best paper out there that I know of is Field Notes. It's Field Notes brand notebooks. They fit snugly into the back pocket of my jeans.
Mm-hmm.
The one I'm holding right now is extolling the virtues of plumbing. And it says there's famous plumbers, including Mario and Luigi and Ozzy Osbourne. And then some pro
Oh.
tips. If your sink isn't draining, you likely have a dog. Let's get that sucker out. First, remove the pop-up plunger and the flat blades of disgusting mess of hair and grime. Clean it off. Next, shine a light down the plunger hole and see if you can get a hold of any more gross things. If you're still having clog issues, oh my God, you know what?
What?
I think earlier I said you likely have a dog, but all of that still applies. But 100%, it actually says you likely have a clog.
You thought it
Anyway,
said dog.
yeah, because if you put a lowercase c and l together,
That's
anyway,
Field Notes.
Field Notes brand notebooks.
Notebooks.
There's one on me all the time,
Oh,
along with the sponsor for our next
all right.
video.
Oh yeah, don't get ahead of ourselves.
And if you want more biscuits, you only need to ask. And there'll be no time
All right.
for TV.
My guest poet
Such thing as Vitz.
is so actually was chosen by I asked a couple high schoolers who are at my house today what's a poem that they like, and both of them, my son Elio and friend Jaden, they talked about it separately, and they both came. Elio handed me 2 books of Mary Oliver poems,
Mm-hmm.
and Jaden then said, "There's this one Mary Oliver poem,"
Great.
and then I called Mary Oliver, and it didn't ring. Mary Oliver's dead. But the poem is "When Death Comes." When death comes like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut, when death comes like the measles pox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and I look upon time as no more than an idea, and I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy, and as singular, and each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending as all music does toward silence, and each body a lion of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom, taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I've made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world.
Please thank Elio and did you say Jaden?
Jaden, yeah.
Yeah, please thank them. That was beautiful. Yeah, it's funny that both of these poems we brought in include death as a major theme. And you are you're one of the you're one of the people not what maybe yeah, you're one of the few people in my life that I don't have to explain how that's comforting and like it makes me happy
Yeah. Yeah.
to read poems about death,
Yeah.
right? It's just yeah, there's something so comforting about it. And you have your own work, yes?
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
one.
Something to, just bookend Walt Whitman and Mary Oliver, to kind of put them in context. All our listeners they're not going to have all of this experience that you and I have shared. But
That's right.
this one is uh this one, well, I shouldn't give too much context, but you and I have shared uh August stellar skies
Yes.
together. And all right, so it's called Aquariids and Perseids. This dust in August day makes mud from my sweat and burns my eyes. This dust is just dirt. That dust in August night pours out the vessel of Aquarius and highlights Perseus's triumph. Same dust, pulled around the same star. This dust is the sun's temper, toiling in sweat. That dust is the moon's temper, for wishing and rest.
Awesome. This is called For Whom Are You Existing on This Sunday Afternoon? The not knowing what to do now. That's the monster. That's the curse. That's the fear that seeks control of the pace at times. Indecision is death, says countless fill in the blanks with more things to fear. The spiral enabler. For whom am I making this decision? For whom am I existing? Not what or why, we know it's now, but for whom? And buddy, me is not a wrong answer. The answer changes with time. Now is a Sunday afternoon on a non-custodial weekend. So for whom are you existing on this Sunday afternoon?
No such thing as VIT. Screens will keep the bugs away.
I
A
really-
non-custodial weekend.
You can write a poem, or you can read a book, or you can be a farmer or a builder or a cook. And if you can't do nothing, well, that's okay as well. You can sit there all day long and read.